Hey, Duchovny.
All right, David, you look great, man.
Should I put this on?
You can do that.
Yeah, put that on.
Or you can move, scooch over a second and use those headphones are already plugged in.
Well, that's bad. Yeah. Put it in my rear.
Go that way, David. Use that microphone. I think you're already plugged in.
What if I put it in your rear?
That's what I'm telling you now.
Now we're talking.
I think Dave's a little punchy because I've been following his schedule on the TV this week. And man, is he sick of himself.
I have the itinerary of the African wildebeest.
You've been on every TV show that is having guests this week, haven't you?
I will not rest until I'm oversaturated.
I saw you on a rerun of Lucy last night. I thought, how did Dave get into a rerun of Lucy?
Well, I saw him on Leno last week, and then I saw him on Letterman this week, Conan this week, Barbara Walters this week, Rosie this week. I saw you on Moneyline with Lou Dobbs.
Lost Fire.
Muppets Tonight. I thought, what's going on? And then
Took the place of John Denver on that one.
And then it occurred to me after about the 8th or 9th appearance, I thought, well, you know what? Maybe Dave's got a movie coming out or something.
Maybe somebody's pushing.
I just like to keep in touch with my fans.
And I thought, well, why didn't he mention it? Why does Dave never talk about Playing God coming out? And why does he never talk about his wife? And why does he never talk about the X-Files with her? Why are these the topics that aren't being covered?
I mean, what have I been talking about then?
Right, exactly. I know.
I don't know. What have I been talking about?
Dave?
I thought I was talking about playing God.
Oh,
Playing God, playing God, playing God, playing God, playing God, playing God. I'm sorry.
You are the one-man promotion machine on this movie, man. You're out there, and you're Timothy Hutton is sitting on his fat Academy Award-winning ass somewhere. Going, hey, let the new kid promote it.
Not sure. I believe Timothy was on Leno last night. I believe. I didn't see it.
He did a show.
He did.
It's crazy. I don't want to depress you about Playing God that opens Friday, but you're going up against Grizzly Mountain starring Dan Haggerty. Did you know that?
I didn't know
Oh
that.
my God, we were trying to avoid that.
Grizzly Mountain.
Grizzly Mountain?
You sacked the guy.
Is that the original, not Grizzly Mountain 2?
I don't know.
Is this
a new one?
You got a week off or 10 days off or something from the schedule to promote this record? I mean, this movie?
Well, it's a record, too. Have I not mentioned that? Yeah. I got 4 days on it, which is why you've seen me everywhere in such short time. I want to be commended for having different material on every show.
I wasn't going to do this on the air, but let me tell you something about Dave and why Dave's a great guest. Is because he really does prepare material for every show.
I'm a great guest for other people. Today I'm going to be repeating myself.
Perfect. That's okay.
It's a hodgepodge of everything you said in the last week.
That's right.
Now,
my greatest hits.
The movie that opens tomorrow, so you're a Nazi mountain climber and you discover enlightenment by meeting the young Dalai Lama? Or
Yes, and it's called Kiss the Girls. It's Playing God. Shall I give you a little synopsis?
Sure. I know you get to play a doctor, which is fun for anyone.
Well, if I got here too late, and is everybody who was supposed to hear this now at their job and not listening?
No, they're still with you.
I was sitting there in the car coming here, and I was thinking, these are all the people I want to hear about the movie. They're not going to be here by the time I get to that damn studio.
You know what? They'll stick around for you, though, David. We told people you were.
By the way, let me just back up and say, that traffic and this city is where you want to move the show.
Get taken, right? You can enjoy this every morning on your way to work.
Yeah.
What's your commute in Vancouver? It's got to be 10 minutes, right?
No, it's 40 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not because of traffic, just because we have such a beautiful expanse of Mother Nature. And so it's kind of just rolling the window down and letting the wind hit my face and feeling good about life.
I can understand not wanting to live in L.A., but then I can also understand your reasons for wanting to.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just really...
it's a personal thing.
It is indeed.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
You know, I think I should live with my wife and just try that out.
You're a crazy man thinking about living with your wife.
All right, well, we want to get to that, and then we're going to take calls. We got a bunch of questions.
Let me just tell you what Playing God...
Let's talk about the movie. That's
quickly.
right.
I play a surgeon who has a drug problem at the beginning of the film and loses a patient because of this. Loses a patient during surgery and loses his license because of that, which I always thought was kind of a strict reaction.
Losing a patient because of drugs?
Yeah. Come on. I mean, it's not like it's a driver's license. It's just a license to practice medicine.
Just a little slack.
I kind of drift aimlessly after that because being a doctor is what I was meant to be. And there's a shooting in a bar, one of the first scenes, and I kind of step in and save this guy with an Evian bottle and a coat hanger and whatever is around. Which
You're MacGyver, right?
Please don't say MacGyver. Dr. MacGyver.
That's right.
So that was actually lifted from something that happened on an airplane where somebody got a collapsed lung and a doctor stepped in and actually used, a plastic bottle and a wire hanger. So,
hey, you thought it was Doc with a gun, didn't you?
I just, I'm just always watching my back. This is the guy with the accent.
That's what I mean.
So, Where was I? Playing God.
Yeah, I'm here to say that's coming out tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, I hope so.
So here's
Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
There's more.
And then I kind of become this gangster played by Timothy Hutton. I become his personal physician. In a word, he kind of falls in love with my talent, and he wants me to be his personal surgeon to work on the criminals who can't go to the hospital for fear of being arrested.
Sure, yeah.
So this was the setup that I'd never seen, and I wanted to see this movie, I wanted to make it. I kind of fall in love with his girlfriend. She kind of falls in love with me. It gets a little more entangled than any of us ever expected, and it's kind of a wild ride of a movie.
And that's that Angelina? Is that her name?
Angelina Jolie. Your listeners might know from the Rolling Stones video.
Yeah, she's
showing locks.
Oh, yeah.
Walking through Manhattan in your underwear and a fur coat.
I hear you.
This is how I used to go.
I had done the movie for that. But you said something very funny on one of the shows, or maybe I read in an interview, where you learned the actual relationship between doctors and nurses, which I thought was very astute.
Yeah.
Where you talked about how the doctors know nothing. The nurses really run the operating room, don't they?
Well, when you're an actor, yeah. But it made me think that the actual doctors are just, if we know that women rule the world, and most of the women were nurses, they were handing them the right tools when they needed them.
Yeah. I also heard you say that you haven't had a vacation in years, I guess, but because on your weeks off you work. Like you're working this week for promotion, the hiatus from the X-Files, you make movies, but this was kind of rejuvenating for you just because it was in Fox Mulder.
Exactly. I mean, I had the option of either take off 8 weeks or do a film and play a different character, and I don't know why it felt so good. I mean, it's not like I hate the X-Files.
Sure.
It's
just different.
Yeah. I mean, have you guys ever tried to do anything like that? No, you just stuck in here all the time.
Thank you, Lisa. We appreciate that. Enough out of you.
I didn't hear that.
We're not talented. We have no range, Dave. This is it. So, but when the next hiatus comes up, I bet you won't work. I bet you're ready for that vacation now.
My wife is kind of leaning on me not to work, and but sometimes as an actor, you see it. There's a certain fear that the work's going to dry up, and I know it's unfounded because I kind of worked before I was famous, so I actually got jobs the real way.
And we live in a world where Keanu Reeves gets work, too, so it's not like, you can't get jobs.
Okay. You just got to get over that fear that it's going to dry up and just take the jobs that are really good for you and live the life that is nice for you.
Well, give Tia some time to live with you, and maybe
she might want to move out.
Push you right back out the door.
That was pushing me out the door. Yeah, I thought it was pushing me out the door forever.
Oh, no.
I just go to work.
Give him a job.
Well, considering how brutal the schedule is, it's great that you came in this morning. We got to take a break.
You guys are so good to us.
We love you. You know that, Dave. We're crazy about you.
In Vancouver once.
I know you were walking blue on the beach, and you called in. We had Kristen, I think. Yeah. And we've had all your buddies in. I mean, we've had we've Mitch in, and we've had the guy who plays Krychek in.
Yeah, we had Nick Lee.
Oh, he's a great guy.
He is. Funny guy.
Your whole crew, the cast, the crew, everyone involved at the X-Files, they couldn't be nicer people. We love working with you guys.
Yeah.
You even did our Christmas cassette where you were heard to say,
"The crap, Scully. It was reindeer crap."
Remember that? Some of your best acting right there.
Oh, yeah.
So, shall we take a break and come back with some more with our friend Dave Duchovny on K-Rock?
Okay.
You want to K-Rock?
8:57, Dave Duchovny in the studio with us.
Dave, you tell us you like the Pearl Jam, huh?
In the house, as the kids like.
In his house.
In his house.
In
his house.
Yeah, where's that come from? Can you,
I don't know.
white men,
some we heard
derivation of that?
Some we heard on the Baker Boys. We don't really know. We don't really have any idea.
I was doing Katie Couric the other day, and she said,
excuse me, wait a minute. Hold on, get the Inquirer on the phone. You were doing Katie Couric, yeah?
Yep. I was doing the show.
Oh, the show, right.
And she said to me, "What up?" And I said, "Well, it's over."
Aren't you going on Keenan this week, though?
Yeah, Conan Ivory Wayans.
Conan Ivory, that's right. Because you're going to have to get down with the leg.
Today I'm doing Keenan.
Wow, Keenan's working today? It's the Day of Atonement. Farrakhan's asking all the black people to not show up for work today.
I didn't know that.
Wouldn't it be funny if you showed up for the show and he didn't?
I just have to interview myself like he did last week.
We did his movie, right. Yeah. David Duchovny is in the studio. The movie is called Playing God. By the way, we are going to be, tonight, I guess, Dave, you're coming down to the in Westwood Demands. You were in the audience in New York when it premiered, I guess, and people liked it.
People had a great time. They were hollering. talking back to the screen and laughing, and that was before the movie started. So when the movie started, it was even better.
Here's what we'd like to do. We'd like to invite the K-Rock audience down, even if people don't have tickets.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be there, and we thought what we'd do is maybe get some questions from the audience and have you do a little song and dance.
Song and dance now. Yeah, I won't actually be singing.
No, we're dancing, right?
I'll answer questions.
Answer some questions for expression, really, more than for dance. All right, so if people want to come down, they can partake in that.
Is that safe? What you just did?
Yeah, that's sure.
We'll see.
So, and we'll give away some tickets in the 9 o'clock hour from the movie.
Who cares about safety? Right. I mean, we're talking about movies.
That's right.
Now, we got to ask you a few questions to kind of get caught up since the last time we saw you. First of all, you didn't win the Emmy.
That's right. I didn't win the Emmy, and the most disappointing thing about winning the Emmy is not that you lost out to some of your peers and things like that, but I didn't get to out my high school teacher.
It's very popular these days.
It would have been awesome had you actually done this.
Which is what I want. It would have been even more awesome because he's heterosexual.
And but you did win the Golden Globes the last time you were on the show. Now, that's cool. What did you do with that?
I gave it to Mom. She's got it back in New York somewhere.
Did you show up at one of those award shows with your mom?
No, it's hard to get my mom out of the house. She's whatever. Let's not talk about my mom.
Okay. Although I didn't hear she refused to pay to see your movie, so you lined up a special screen for that. That's not true?
No, it's not really true. I mean, as I said, it's hard to. The last movie she saw was E.T. So she's not a big moviegoer, and she likes nice movies. She won't see a movie if I get naked or get killed.
So that eliminates pretty much all of them.
Well, usually I like to get naked and get killed at that time.
Right. While we're talking about the Emmys, though, what was going on with Jillian at the Emmys this year? She has never looked more depressed than she did that entire night.
Well, I think Jillian's very
emotional.
Well, no, I think it's very hard for her in public. I don't think she has an easy time of it with those kind of crowds and all that kind of attention. So I think she tenses up a little bit. So it's not really her that you're seeing. It's just she's a little scared.
Because we know Jillian a little bit. We've had her on the show a couple times, and you couldn't ask for a more delightful, outgoing, funny woman.
Yeah.
But on that show, she just looked like she was having a horrible time.
Yeah.
And she won.
Yeah.
Wow, what's it take?
Yeah.
And she won.
If she lost, she might have broken out the AK-47 and slowed people down.
Now the rumor in the paper this week is that she got engaged that night. You know anything about that?
No. I didn't hear anything.
You know this guy she's going out with, right?
I know Rodney, yeah, but I
Now, what do you think of him? What do you think of that guy?
That night, yes.
Are they engaged?
That's the rumor. We don't know. It's just a rumor.
He has fears as we do. You don't want to get involved with a guy with a talking tattoo. We're just telling you in general. You stay away from that.
I don't know. He seems like a good guy. He's tall, which the ladies like, as you know.
Look at me. I'm a lady killer.
And,
when he showed up at the Emmys, he's wearing one of those shirts that was opened up down to his waist or something. And I just like, she's dating like a bandera dancer or something. I don't know what's going on here.
The ladies like that.
It's hard for us because we don't think anyone is right for Jillian.
Really?
We hate. Well,
she's like the perfect woman to us. So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to picture anyone else with her.
Really?
Yeah.
Except the two of you.
Exactly. That's right.
None of the same.
No.
We saw one of the, I don't know who it is on the show, but somebody sends us outtakes from your show from time to time. You guys have a very funny outtake reel from the X-Files. As many shows do. Yeah. But there were two in particular that I wanted to bring up that I thought were very funny. One is there was just this massive kiss in an elevator with Jillian. That was very funny.
You remember below the waist kiss?
That's a different one. No, that's where she,
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
That was from the first season.
Is there more of that tape?
No.
Okay. And two is...
a kiss? Oh, that was...
Wasn't it in the elevator, the full-on kiss? Do you remember, Kevin?
All I remember the elevator is what he's talking about, where she gets down, sits on her knees.
Right, yeah. What am I thinking of, Jimmy?
What? I don't know what the hell you're thinking.
And the other one, and this was my favorite, is when you mounted Skinner from behind. That was a great kiss, too.
Not only your favorite, mine.
Where you threw him over the desk.
Yeah, he's a big guy, but...
And a good-looking man.
He's my bitch.
And a good-looking man.
Stuff you can't grab on any hair, though.
That is tough.
When you want to hold on, when he starts bucking.
Too much information.
All right. right. We need to take another break. When we come back, I'd like to, and I know...
Hold on, after that, I got to say, Taya, I love you.
Please, there's no fear. Does it make you feel better?
No.
We want to talk a little bit and kind of get up to speed on the show and on the movie when we come back, if that's okay.
Thank God.
And
Right. Friday.
And maybe,
October 17th, 1997.
and maybe take some calls, too, if you don't mind doing it.
Absolutely.
I know you love the kids.
Love the kids. Love the fans.
904 now,
From New Line Cinema. In 1977.
Kings tied the Boston Bruins up. I mean, they didn't tie, no. They lost to the Bruins 5-2 touchdowns and Flyers.
Doesn't matter, does it?
No.
This is regular season.
It's a miracle season for the Kings. NFL's opening the door for any stadium that wants a team here in L.A. to make a pitch. Coliseum Group loses exclusivity. So if you know anybody with a big place, give them a call. Some of that popular NFL football tonight, Chargers of Kansas City, 5 o'clock on TNT. Clippers an exhibition at Milwaukee. You know, the Bulls are in Paris this week. They're playing an exhibition there Saturday. And Michael Jordan says he's enjoying his low-key presence in Paris. In other words, the French don't know or really care who he is. Jerry Lewis, they swarm. Michael Jordan, oui, this Michael Jordan. He is bouncing this basketball. Who gives it poo-poo? See, that's my French.
That's good for us. Very good, but you know, the basketball already is orange. I got no changes for that. They could make it a little bigger.
They can make it a little larger, actually. Anyway, to me, this is a disgrace, these freaking French. You ignore Michael Jordan, that is a slap in the face of America. Are we going to sit around and get bitch-slapped by the French? I don't know about you, butthole surfers, but I ain't. Duchovny?
Yeah, I'll get slapped by the French.
You will?
Yeah, sure.
Well, hell if I'm going. I'm going over there right now.
At 9:13, Dave Duchovny in the studio.
Hey, Dave.
Hello.
Dave is going to be glad when all this is over. The movie Playing God opens up tomorrow. He plays a doctor. We're hearing really good things about it, so we're not going to see that. We also want to talk about, I know we got a lot of people on the phone who want to talk about the X-Files is coming back on November 2nd. I guess it's the latest of the new shows coming back because of baseball, right? I guess they didn't want to...
No, it's not baseball. We were doing the movie this hiatus.
Right.
So instead of going back to shooting the show in mid-July, which is what we normally do, we're shooting the movie until September.
Oh, I see.
So we just got a later start on a TV show.
So November 2nd is going to be the premiere. Have you heard this, by the way, this version of the X-Files?
Heard what?
Have you heard this theme song? What's the classical version of the X-Files? I don't know if you're not hearing anything.
Is it playing?
Is Dave screwing with us? I don't know.
No, I got nothing in here.
Oh, and your headphones are...
Oh, there it is.
Have you heard this? This is cool. I don't remember where I bought this, but I found this like an import store, and I just fell in love with it. I think it's so cool. It's the dance remix. Exactly. So anyway, so the movie...
The interpretive dance.
Is the movie going to be called Blackwood, or is that just the Hollywood name for it?
That was just so people knew where to park.
I see, okay. You probably can't tell us anything about the movie. Because you have a whole season leading up to whatever's going to happen next summer in the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Everything's out of order for you.
And I don't think you want to know anything about the movie. You know, the shows are always better when you don't know what's going on. And all I can tell you about the movie is that if you don't know the show, it's still a good movie. And if you love the show, it's a great movie.
Is it true that the season leads up to it with the storyline?
Yeah, not every show.
Right.
Leading up to it, but you know, those shows that we do that kind of further the conspiracy story, those will be leading to the movie.
That's about like one every 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Did you take advantage of things that you can do on film that you can't do on the TV, like, use bad words and show your ass?
I don't think I did. I did show my ass.
Yeah. You did show your ass. Oh, I'm there then.
I'm very, very proud of that.
Did Scully use the F word? That was one of the things I heard.
She does.
She does in the movie. There you go.
Yeah, she says Frankfurter.
Yeah, we'll up that extra. Well, let's, Dave, I know you're always gracious enough to take calls from the Care Rock listeners when you're on, so let's take a few.
Bring it on.
Begin with Marianne. Hello, Marianne.
Oh, yes, hello.
Hi, Marianne.
I just wanted to say hi to David and
Hi.
tell him that I'm a fan. I've been a fan of yours since, the Raptures, believe it or not.
Really, way back in the 40s there.
And I was just wondering, my question actually kind of dealt with that. You had kind of an embarrassing, not embarrassing necessarily, but a whole kind of nudity scene.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you were going to be doing anything more like that in the future, or now that you're like the big hot and happening star, as Joe O'Donnell put it, if you're just going to be doing maybe just the backside, like you said.
I heard Dave's going into straight porn.
That's what I heard. No gay porn.
Gay porn. Even better.
So your basic question is he ever going to show his penis again?
No, I didn't show my penis in the rapture. You didn't see it.
So, well, it depends.
It depends on how close it is.
As an actor, I guess. As an actor, how do you feel about the nudity in the films, then? I guess it's a better way to put it.
I feel like...
All right, shut up! Still going.
Wait, I thought you were talking to me. You asked me a question and then told me to shut up.
No.
I feel like some scenes you have clothes on and some scenes you have no clothes on. If the scene calls for it, then the nudity's fine. If it's just a scene about nudity, then that's stupid and it shouldn't be in the film. But
that's why we do this show.
Sometimes you got clothes on, sometimes you don't.
Tuesday and Wednesday we worked their ass, remember?
Yeah.
You did.
Not on this seat, did you?
All right, let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Liz. Hello, Liz.
Hey, Liz.
Hi, David.
Hi, Liz. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm pretty good, considering.
First, I wanted to let you know I love the X-Files. My boyfriend and I and our friends watch it every Sunday, and we can't wait for November 2nd.
Okay, thank you.
My question is, what did you do before you were an actor? I know it's probably a boring question. You get asked that all the time, but...
I was nursing at my mother's breast.
For a long time.
Yeah. I left home late.
What was your plan going to be before you got the acting bug in college?
I was going to write. I went to graduate school for English literature, and I was going to teach and write. And then I started to think I wanted to write for the stage or screenplay, so I thought I should learn something about acting. And I started acting, and then
that was cool.
Now I find myself sitting here today.
Do you know what?
Will you write again in the future? Is that something you'd like to keep in the back of your mind?
I hope so. There's no great demand, but. I would like to.
Tell us about the role that you played in our other favorite show of all time, which is Twin Peaks, where you were a chick. The hell were you, a chick?
I don't know what I was. I was like
some kind of a transvestite.
I was RuPaul's inspiration.
Hey, that was a big deal at that time to have David Lynch put you in a TV show.
It was huge.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, a great show, too.
It was a great job to get, and it was a great part, and I think that if the show had lasted, it would have been a great recurring character on television, and I think it would have been like a groundbreaking one, and I'm really sorry that it didn't go on, because I loved the character, and I thought it was a great idea. No, seriously.
And you were wearing a dress?
I was wearing a dress to shave my legs, I had pantyhose on.
You were Marv Albert before he was.
Leave Marv alone, because I love Marv. What people don't know about Marv is he's the best play-by-play announcer of all time.
Absolutely. And you probably grew up listening to him do the Rangers and everything else, right? In New York.
The Knicks.
Both, right.
Dave the Butcher was the running one.
Ladies, he even does impressions. All right, let's take a couple more calls. 1-800-520-1067.
Let's go to Ted. Hello, Ted.
Hi, David. I love the show.
Thanks.
I have a question for you. Do you believe in extraterrestrial beings out there?
Well, let me see.
Hey, Ted, you already asked it that.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I can answer this. I want to consider it carefully. No.
Dave, you won't remember this, but there was a time years ago when the man on the phone there, Tad, who works for the show, interviewed you. And you took him apart as if you were a mechanic with a wrench. You took him apart into 1,000 pieces. And it is probably the most requested tape we get on this show is the interview that Tad did with you.
Can you play that?
I have a snippet of part of the best part, and I hope this brings back good memories for you.
Okay, now, the question is, do you believe in extraterrestrial beings out there?
Well, that is just the lamest question. My God. Can't you think of anything better than that?
There's regrouping.
Would you like to go to outer space? I don't know.
I'm just sitting there hoping you get abducted.
That's the portion of it, but that was the tone of the interview for about 6 minutes. You took Tad, who was already very frail and very fat and very dumb, and you just took him apart layer by layer to the point where he was nothing but a puddle on the floor when you were done with him.
He's so funny. I remember him now. Yeah, you were funny. We were having fun, weren't we?
Yeah, oh yeah. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. How was it there at the hospital?
That's when we realized Tad was perfect for this show to do interviews, though, because of the way he handled you.
All right, we need to take another break. You upset?
Oh, we can.
That was a quick one. I'll stay here.
All right. Let's take another break.
Why am I staying here?
More questions.
And just frivolity.
Get people to see the movie called
Playing God. Opens tomorrow everywhere.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to any relationship a year in, 2 years, 3 years in. It's different because you're married rather than just dating. And when you get to that point, as you would if you were single, hey, do we break up or not? It's really kind of not an option because you're already married.
Well,
so you tend to work a little harder at it, I think.
That's what I like about it. I think there's less drama because there's not this fear that every little thing is going to split you up.
Bingo.
You know, you've made a commitment to hang in there, and you're going to do that. So I like that part of it, especially because we're apart so much.
Well, it's 6 years for me next week.
Yeah.
This 5-month thing.
Congratulations.
And it's weird because people never get over the amazement of how fast it happened.
Oh, they still talk about
They
it.
still. I mean, everybody in the office pool. There was an office pool here, man. No one gave it more than 2 years.
Really?
Here's the question I
But
want to
it's
ask.
also because you're involved in the relationship.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That has something to do with it. You know what? We've been stalking your wife for quite some time.
I don't blame you.
From the very beginning when she was doing that, and she's never responded to us. I want you to know that.
Oh, really?
We talk about her, hey, we'd like to have her in,
Yeah.
It's true. We have. Yeah.
She's very private. Unlike me. She's very private, and she really treasures her whatever anonymity she can, to be talked about it the way that she's talked about it, which is, everybody seems to be in love with her, is somewhat, it's tough.
It's pretty tough, though, when you have when you're the star of a show.
I
talk about, yeah.
I know.
You can.
Now, let me ask you this downside, though. You can't watch Monday Night Football at your house, right?
Actually, Taya does not want me to watch her show. And when I'm in Vancouver and she's in L.A., she calls me constantly during the time of the show.
Make sure it's on.
And I don't answer because I like to watch the show. That's because I love her. I love to watch her, actually. I mean, I would watch her even if I wasn't married to her. I would watch her if I didn't know her. I just think she's the best comic actress in the last 2,000 years,
It's a lot of years.
Well, I'm going back to prehistoric days because I had some cave women who were pretty damn funny.
Hey, if it doesn't work out with Taya, God forbid, you ought to marry that Dharma because she's got that same kind of funny.
I don't agree. I think she's like Taya Leone light.
You think so, John? Yeah. All right, here's one more question I want to ask you about the wedding because we laughed for days when we saw that you had worn like a fake mustache or something at the wedding. Is that true?
Yeah.
How did that work to protect your anonymity?
Well, they thought, I thought maybe they'd think, who's the guy with the fake mustache?
That's when you're getting a license, right?
Yeah, I was getting a license to get married because you have to wait 24 hours after you get the license.
Right.
It's like getting a gun.
Unlike Las Vegas, by the way, which is where we eloped to, where you can decide in a minute and go get married.
It wasn't enough just to get married after 5 months. You have to do it right that day.
Moment, right, exactly.
Well, if you don't do it right away, everybody tries to step in and tell you not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it any of their business?
Well, I think they had my wife's best interest in heart. I don't know what the situation was with you. But
You two are very different people. Let's not forget that.
no one was going to Taya and saying, this Duchovny guy's a loser, don't marry him. It was a different kind of thing.
Well, she didn't talk to any of my family members. So yeah, she didn't get any of that.
And no one back at the show knew about it, right?
No one. I think I told Chris Carter. But really, nobody knew, and we were just having my family members there, my mother and my sister, my brother, and her family members, her parents and her brother, and that was it. Yeah. That's the whole wedding party. And it wasn't really that hard to pull off, except for the marriage license, because we had everything planned and nobody knew anything.
Yeah.
Until, I pulled out this fake mustache and this Yankee cap and sunglasses, and I thought that I could pull it off, but... somebody called in and said, David Duchovny's wearing the lamest fake mustache I've ever seen.
Well, they really do. They have full-time people. That's all they do is track down the comings and goings of celebrities, especially in New York. And I'm sure they got a guy in the city clerk office.
You think?
Yeah,
Sure.
I really do. I mean, it's like when they knew that Noel Gallagher was getting married in Oasis.
Right.
Don't tell me they didn't have every marriage bureau in England on full alert. Hey, there's 1,000 pounds in it for you if you give us the tip.
So the scary thing was when we got there, the line was like around in the hallway. The line must have been 200 people deep, and I thought, we're never going to get married because the computer was down. Can you imagine in New York, the computer wasn't working? So my manager, we actually had to plead like celebrity. This is one of my favorite things. So my manager went up and she said to the woman, the man in the cheesy mustache, that's David Duchovny. And of course she said, who?
The people that you want to recognize, you never do.
Absolutely. The cops and the marriage license people. So we cheated, and we got to have a little private thing, and we got out of there because...
And it still didn't work.
And that didn't work, but we'd been waiting online an hour. Just standing there and people looking at this shiny cellophane under my mustache.
You should have worn one of those surgical masks like Michael Jackson did. That would have done it.
Yeah, they would have thought I was Michael Jackson.
Hey, that was another one. When he married Lisa Marie, none of us believed it. Remember, everybody was calling down to Haiti or wherever it was going, no way.
Oh, he got married in Haiti?
So, like, Dominican Republic, Haiti, where was it? Something like that. Yeah, same thing. It's an island. But I'll tell you, Dave, there are very few celebrities. Most celebrities are married, but very few will go on TV and be the romantic fool and just say in front of everyone, I love my wife, I'm crazy about her, blah, blah. I mean, most people, they're kind of embarrassed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there are very few people do it. LL Cool J does that, where every time he gets up, he talks about, thank God I'm married to my wife. Most people don't. I just think like it's not hip or something.
See, I feel that LL Cool J is braver to pull his one pant leg up. I mean, I feel like, if it's the truth, why not say it? I think people appreciate it, and people are suspect of these kinds of marriages. Like, I don't know why, but we're just two people that met and fell in love, and it's really just as simple as that. And the fact that we're public people and both happen to be actors on TV shows at this time is like a weird coincidence, because it would have happened otherwise. Because she was going to be a lawyer. Well, sometimes we say, would we have met otherwise? And I say, well, I'd be an actor and you'd be a lawyer, and I'd be saving like 5% of my income, and it'd be even better.
Well, people are very happy for you, and I know that.
I really have to say that's been the great thing, is that I'm not used to the goodwill. I mean, I guess I always thought that there was a certain amount of people want to take you down when you're doing well and stuff like that. But when I married Taya, I just feel like everybody likes us together and everybody wants us to do well, and nobody's taking crappy shots at us and things like that.
It helps that everybody likes her too, and everybody likes you already when you start.
I don't really think it's me. I really think it's her, and I'm being totally honest and not being humble. I think I've never met anyone that has so much goodwill towards her in terms of talent and just personality.
Except for this show, by the way, with Chief Snubs.
Well, like I said, she's private. If you met her at a party, or if you met her, if she was just in this room and not on the air, you would love her.
Like her, yeah. Are people following you around whenever you do get a chance to be together? I saw the pictures of you at the Knicks game, for instance.
Yeah. Well, it's a Knicks game, so you're kind of in exchange for those great seats, you got to have your picture taken.
Right, exactly.
That's just tit for tat. But it was tough in New York when we first got married. And I don't know if you read about that thing with
a cup of coffee.
Yeah. That was such horse.
Not a good thing to do, right?
I can't really say that.
Okay, that was bull.
You have said since then that you regret throwing the cup of coffee.
Well, let me tell you the whole story.
Okay.
Do I have time?
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Depends on how much time you have to stay here, because we got another half hour.
Okay.
You're the man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This one particular woman is objectionable, and I think she's got many lawsuits pending against her for abusive behavior towards celebrities and trying to antagonize them. And she'd been there the whole week, just in our faces and trying to get us, goading us into doing something. And she was there again, and I had a very cold cup of coffee in my hand. I would, even if this woman had pulled a knife on me, I wouldn't throw hot coffee on anybody, and I'd hate to think that anybody thought that, even though she is a horrible person. And
deserves it.
I tossed the coffee at the video camera guy, and I missed him, and I hit her on the shin, like really low. And I was so proud that I hit her. I took credit for it, like I'd been aiming at her. But the truth of the matter is, I wasn't aiming at her. It was a lucky shot. It was a cold cup of coffee, and that's the end of the story. So I shouldn't have thrown anything. But
that's what they want you to do, isn't it? Is they're looking for the video.
Yeah, I was an idiot.
X-File star throws tantrum.
I was an idiot.
There's got to be a weird life out there, though, with people trying to goad you into doing that kind of stuff.
Hey, if that's the worst thing you ever do, Dave, don't worry about it. Seriously.
I feel like I'm a little embarrassed at throwing coffee and throwing coffee at a woman, but
we know what a hothead you are, man. You don't have to explain it to us. We understand. We understand.
All right, we need to find out what your schedule is. We have a couple more things that we want to accomplish.
Can we do one more break with you? Can you stick around for one more?
Yeah.
Okay, we got Dave Duchovny in the studio. The movie again, Playing God, opens up tomorrow. And I tell you what, in the next break, we'll take care of some business, and then we'll give away whatever tickets we have left for the screening tonight. So stick around on K-Rock.
And it's the Kevin and Bean Show at 9:40. The movie is Playing God. It opens tomorrow. He is Dave Duchovny in the studio with us.
Can't get rid of me.
We're just talking to Dave about, Dave, you're one of the funniest people we know, yet you don't, people don't ask you to do comedy.
Well, maybe they'll start. I'm Mr. Sullen Intensity right now on the X-Files. And that just happens to be one role, and we'll see what happens.
But even on the X-Files, there are certain episodes where it's pretty funny. I mean,
I try.
Some breaks.
I try. That's my response to life, really. My dad said I was an ironic baby. That was when I was 18. No, actually, no, he said I was an ironic infant.
Really?
I don't know what that means, so I really like it.
But it has stuck with you all these years.
I think maybe I had an arched eyebrow.
We were talking
I was like, wah. How about some leche, Mom?
We were talking during the Foo Fighters song. Someone brought up your episode with Gary Shandling, Larry Sanders Show, which I guess you get nominated for an Emmy or something like that. And one of the funniest half hours of television ever. It was magnificent. And it looks like it was fun to do.
It's so much fun to work with Gary because it's almost like being in here because you just basically do what you want. You have some ideas, some parameters that you're going for. We had the idea of I was a straight man with a crush on Larry, and other than that, we just let it fly. And he's actually a great actor. People don't know that, but
it's hard to tell sometimes when someone is playing himself how much
he's not really playing himself. He's playing Larry Sanders. People. Whenever people say you're playing yourself or whatever, it's really not that. You're playing a scripted character in another situation. You're just trying to be as relaxed as you can, and maybe you're not altering your voice or whatever, but he's not playing himself.
One of my favorite X-Files episodes from last season was the one where you got to play yourself.
Yeah.
When you had a guy take over your body and you were acting as if you were just new to Mulder. It was very funny.
That was a lot of fun to do. I was kind of imitating Darren Morgan, who's one of our writers, who was playing the guy who was supposed to be morphing into me. So I had access to his little quotes.
And what a loser was the quote. What a loser.
Well, it's funny on X-Files. They like to have fun with me. You'll notice they never make fun of Julian, but they will make fun of my nose. They will make fun of me as a loser. They will make fun of my figure. Can you say that as a man? But not once that I remember have they made fun of Scully. And
Maybe this is the season. This is the season to just be cruel.
Yeah.
We ought to mention, by the way, that it was a great day this summer when FX started rerunning the X-Files at 8 and at 11.
Great day for the old Duchovny bank account.
I bet it was. And it's you probably know this. It's far and away the most popular program on FX. They're getting over 1 million viewers to each episode.
Do they have another program on FX?
Yeah, well, their collectible show is pretty
popular.
popular.
Far and away the most popular of 3 programs on FX.
I think you're up against Miami Vice or an A team or something.
I missed some of the ones in the first season, so it's been fun for me.
I think it's great because I think a lot of people got into the show the 3rd year, the 2nd year, the 4th year. So it's a show that has grown over time, and it's a show that has similar stories coming back. So it stands. It's good to see the old.
Are you getting tired of it?
Of doing the show? Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, it's hard to come in and do the same job every day. I love the show, and I'm loyal to it and all that. And it's like if it was just 7 months out of the year, it would be fantastic instead of 10.
You could do it for years if that were the case. I mean,
absolutely. So if everybody starts writing in and saying, give us just 14 episodes a year, please.
That'll happen.
I'll go on forever.
That'll happen.
We want to, I know this is the last break we have with you, Dave, and there's a couple things we wanted to accomplish. We have on the phone a woman who, I'm sorry, I don't have her name. Do you have it, Cortland? You know what it is? Becca Elizabeth, who lives in England, and she runs one of the many Dave Duchovny websites. And I don't think she's a psycho, though, because I did some correspondence with her yesterday. She's got a very loving tribute to you on the web.
Okay.
And I thought it might be neat because, you're here. I thought it might be neat to put you two kids together. Becca, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you doing this morning?
Evening. Yeah, I'm okay.
Great. Well, we have your man, Dave Duchovny, here in the studio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your website that I came across yesterday?
Well, it's called The Church of Our Guy, David Duchovny. It's kind of sideways look at philosophy and religion and stuff.
So what would be hi, this is David. Hi, Becca. Becca Elizabeth? Yeah. What would be like, did you say philosophy? What would be one of the tenets of your
church?
Well, I didn't want to say that.
It's mostly about trying to find out your own answers from wherever you start from. there's a piece about your views on karma. There was a quote about that in an interview, and I used that as a start for a piece about karma.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
Stuff like that.
You know, that kind of verifies something that I thought, because people have asked me, what's it like to have websites dedicated to you and fan clubs and things like that, and my response has been, I feel that I'm an icebreaker for conversation. I don't feel like these people, it appears to be worship in some way, but it's not really. It's just like a common topic. So when you say that you're just using me to kind of go off and have other discussions, that makes me feel really good.
Well, it's very much about you as well.
No. Now, Becca,
I liked Becca's website.
let me just say what I said again. I want you to listen this time. Well, thank you very much.
I liked her website, though, because it was not just one of the, drooling fans of Dave Duchovny where here's his picture from us and here's...
them already.
Yeah, there's plenty of those already. I mean, it really did seem to be something different. And what really caught my eye, Becca, and I wanted you to have the chance to tell Dave this, is that you wrote about something that you have done for Dave that he doesn't even know about, and you said you've kind of been embarrassed or you've never had the opportunity to tell him about it, and I thought it'd be neat for him to hear it from you.
I'd love to hear Becca.
I named a star David Duchovny.
Really?
You need a star.
A star. So in the constellation Leo, and it's a real star, and it's really named David Duchovny now.
And this is one of those, this is a universal star listings where you send a certain amount of money and they send you a certificate or something?
Yep, yeah.
That's a wonderful gift. Thank you. Do you think there's life on that star, on that planet?
Well, it'd be kind of weird if aliens landed and said, hi, we're from David Duchovny.
Wouldn't that be funny if that really happened?
An amazing coincidence, I think.
I will be... I just know that I'll be pissed if somebody builds there before I get there.
Well, it is the gift that keeps on giving, Becca. I got to tell you that.
Becca, that's a wonderful gift. Thank you.
And your site is very nice, and I'm glad you got the chance to talk to your man Dave.
Right.
Hey, Becca, take care, okay?
Yeah. But
All right, I'll
See you
be.
later. We emailed each other a couple times yesterday. I wanted to get her phone number, and she said, I get so nervous when I think about Dave. I don't know if I'll be able to talk to him on the phone, but I'll
She
try.
didn't sound nervous
No,
at all.
she sounded fine.
She sounded like she didn't care. I felt like I was trying to keep her on the phone.
Did we call it a bad time, right? All right, before you go, we got one more thing to do with our friend Dave before we urge you to come down and see him at the screening tonight and then go see the movie this weekend. And it's 20 questions with Dave Duchovny.
Wow.
Which is your favorite animal in the zoo?
Excellent.
Can you name any of the humans from Sesame Street?
Grover's a human.
Good enough. What do you figure the LL as in Cool J stands for?
It's ladies' love.
That's right. Who do you like better, Gillian Anderson or your wife?
Oh, God.
My wife.
Does your dad own Entertainment Weekly?
Entertainment Weekly is not nice to me, so therefore, yes.
They give you some icks now, I'll tell you that.
For $10 million, would you do a Psychic Friends commercial with Dionne Warwick?
Oh, yeah. I'll do a duet with Dionne Warwick for $10 million.
For $80 million, would you do one of those Dime Lady commercials with Candice Bergen?
I'd be the dime. She could flip me for $80 million.
How much do you hate Canadians?
I don't hate Canadians, eh? There are good people down there, or up there. I like them. They're wonderful. I got to go, because you're going to sick me with that one.
No, I'm just
I heart Canada.
All right, good. Do you chew gum?
Yeah.
Who's fatter, the guy in Blues Traveler or John Madden?
Well, Blues Traveler, because he's younger.
Do you ever wish
That makes sense?
No.
Not much.
You're a TV guy, though. We just have to nod and say, yes, Mr. Duchovny.
Let that go. Do you ever wish you were on Baywatch?
Do I ever not? Is the question.
Hitler, bad,
Sometimes I
right?
refer to myself as David Kokichiko.
Hitler, bad, right?
Well,
Yes.
Careful, Dave.
That one's going to
understood.
That one's going to sound good.
Yeah.
If you had to kiss a man in a movie, who would you want it to be?
You kiss a man.
Yeah, you just lost a lot of ratings right there. I was trying to ask you seriously. Who's
Seriously.
Mick Jagger, I'd have to say.
Yeah.
Really do yoga, or is that just what you say to get chicks hot?
No, I really do it.
Do you worry about losing Taya to her Naked Truth co-star Chris Elliott?
Aw.
Yes.
Aw.
When was the last time you rode the bus?
Oh.
That's not a euphemism, Dave. He means rode the bus.
I'm a subway rider, so I never really rode the bus. And you talking about LA bus? I never rode that one.
No one has ever ridden an LA bus. Don't worry about it.
I
New York subway probably 3 years ago.
Would you be more likely to hang out with a guy named Rob or a guy named Chuck?
What?
Rob.
Rob, yeah, sure.
Who loved the princess more, you or Elton John?
Elton.
Can you moonwalk?
Hey, what?
Yes.
Monologue.
Yes, I can. Okay.
Yeah, we got to see it now. I know.
I'm wearing flip-flops, though.
That's going to be tough. Oh, he's still a little bit. He's got a little bit going on.
Not bad considering you're wearing flip-flops.
Yeah.
And the final question for Dave Duchovny. What is your plan to save us from El Nino?
I'm going to be in Vancouver, so good luck.
Just leaving town.
20 questions.
Very nice.
Dave, you know how much we always enjoy having you on the program.
I love being here. You guys are funny, great, nice, and all that.
Been a while since we've seen you. We wish you luck with the movie. By the way, you have anything else lined up already?
No, we're just
the X-Files.
the X-Files until May, and then either Jay's going to make me take the time off, or there's going to be something wonderful that I can do either way.
That's cool.
So Playing God starts tomorrow.
And we'll see you tonight then, I guess.
Yeah, please see. Playing God. I think it's a really fun, great movie, and I hope you all see it because we work really hard and we're proud of it.
And tonight you can come down and see Dave, even if you don't have tickets to the movie at the Man in Westwood. You're going to be there about, what time, 8-ish? 7-ish?
I'm actually going to be there around 6 to make sure the popcorn's good.
Okay.
I'm going to be there popcorn.
Dedication right there. Attention to detail.
The Coke has the syrup is to be just right, you know.
Yeah, sure. You know how we do on the show, we do a Breakfast With series where we get the microphone, we go around with the crowd, we get questions for you. You're going to do that tonight, too.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Great. All right, very good. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.